It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. On first down, Stafford here. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And they didn't wait long to take a shot there, that's for sure. But it falls incomplete, and it's second down. Kenny Golladay, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. From the 21, it's second and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Set. Waiting. Back 57. Ready.
On first and 10, Stafford. Going to throw right side here, complete. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And now running right through it. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And past the 30 down to about the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers to, change up their timing, they're just going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? As a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Now, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here on this first series. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on third down. Now it's Stafford. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point good by Prater, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Ready. Blue ready. Follow.
On the carry, this is Pierce. He finds an opening past the 40. That good for 22 and a first down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
Let's go now.
They'll run it here with Pierce. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special runs in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Let's go now. Follow.
On third down, Winston. Going deep downfield for Rowe. It's caught at the 10. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's go
A
now.
first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line.
550. Hey, 5-0.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
21. 10. Hey, give me radar.
Here's Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Could be 4 down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd.
Set. 260.
Here's Stafford. Flush to his right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists looking for the posts.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Ready? Right 25. 5-0, 5-0, 5-0. Right 25, Matt.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Let's go, let's convert, let's convert, let's convert. 550, 550. 5-0, 5-0, 5-0.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Winston. Flushed out right. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throwing. Winston. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Devon Kennard. Coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Third and long for Winston. He's going to fire one deep over them. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On the ball, on the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The Lions on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
They'll run. This is Pierce. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Back near his own goal line, Winston. Connecting here with DJ Shark. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now Jameis on 2nd down. He finds Ross right side. It's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Give him 30 yards there. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Winston now from the 50. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Winston of the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And on the ground they go with the running back. He will push his way down to about the 14. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The Saints in the hurry up here, clock continuing to roll. 2nd down, Winston. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. Now Jameis trying to hurry his crew to the line. On 3rd down, it's Lane. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace.
And he coughed it up. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And they'll run it here. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4... you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Set. Blue 80. Attack 58 here.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. Steps away to his left. And that's going to be incomplete.
His struggles finding open receivers continue. I don't know the last time I saw him this inconsistent throwing the football.
It would be hard to find a date when he was this inconsistent. You know, in his locker, he keeps the word poise printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. He needs to find that poise right now.
He certainly does. In fact, I would suggest he laminate it.
Hey, go here!
Now a play fake it at Stafford. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And very little daylight there. They'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Third and short yardage, Winston. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Hey, stop. Green, triple T.
First down, Winston. His throw caught right around the 6. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That goes for a gain of 31. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 22. And he'll go on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
21. Set, lady. 0.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I would dare say that these guys would like to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Saints, they'll have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And on the ground they go with a running back. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Back now at Ford Field. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a second down throw for Winston. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it. Jameis now on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Eli Harold. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Here's Winston. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. In for the score. And the Saints add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 right at the 30. Back to throw. Stafford. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On first down, Stafford here. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. That goes for a gain of 31. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Set. Lady.
Now a handoff looking right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Hey, tag 50 left.
And they'll run it here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Set. Lady.
On third down, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
4 down, tag 53. 10.
Stafford on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him for a loss of 5.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Third and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Now Stafford. Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still got to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
To throw is Winston. Shark's got it left side. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. The 2nd down throw for Winston. Letting one go deep for the end. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. DJ Chark, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do with good field position. You make the other side pay when you don't have far to go for the score.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. The Lions on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. Stafford now to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Taken in at the 11. Well, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us.
It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for the Saints. 56 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Jameis to throw it. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. They're looking to throw this. Winston being chased out left. And his throw here's incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away.
Quick hands that time to knock that one away. It sure looked like a short touchdown, but able to get a good break on the football and force the incompletion.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Jameis again. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth. And Lutz puts this one through. And that'll extend this lead now up to 25. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now they try the right side here. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. And the Saints signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Let's go now, let's go. Hey, 70!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
Set! 180!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down.